Right guys, Mark Crossfield here. I'm outside hitting a few balls, which is quite rare for me actually, but I'm enjoying the sun. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I've gone to hitting a fade. Anyone who's watching the course vlogs might have noticed that I'm talking about trying to hit a different shape shot to what I've hit maybe in lots of the course vlogs that you've seen before. Let's talk about my decisions of why I've done it and how I think it might help me or not. Let's get stuck in. Right, so let's talk about moving to a different shape shot. So I'm been hitting shots. Anyone who's watching the course vlogs might notice I'm trying to hit a little fade at the minute. So I'm trying to get the ball to start straight to up the left and just dive, kind of fall down to the right. So it's not like a massive curve. It's more of the ball will fall out of the air to the right. And what that does for me is it makes me feel like I can't miss left. So what it does is it gives me a real buffer. Now I played most of my amateur golf, so most of my kind of best quality competitive golf, because when I turned pro I actually just started kind of teaching when I competed more as an amateur really, using a little fade. And I was never a very long hitter like you probably see in the vlogs, but I was very straight and I could always put a score together playing good or bad because I knew exactly where my miss was. So literally I could cancel one side of the fairway out. Now I've been playing a lot of this year in this winter, and I mean people think I play a lot of golf. I don't. When you see me playing, so in the course vlogs, that's me, but I don't play in between that. Hitting balls like this today is a very rare occasion for me. It's normally I've got the camera on and I'm actually, you know, reviewing product and testing, not playing in a gaming environment, which for me is where I'd play best rather than just hitting balls. But what's happened is that I've got kind of, when I'm not thinking about my swing, I'm just hitting. I've got a bit of a natural draw going on, which you'd have seen from some of the vlogs. And what happens is that turns into a bit of an overdraw with my irons. I tend to miss them left. And I even got a few drives going left, which I really didn't like. Because there's one thing I hate, and I know this sounds obvious, but I hate being out of a hole. My game is not about kind of blitzing loads of birdies and maybe losing a few balls but getting it back. My game is much more about keeping in play and kind of boring people to death with pars, and that's how I grew up playing. That's how I feel most comfortable playing. That's where I feel I get my best results. So my shape of shot, going back to my fade shot, what it does for me, it cancels out one side of the fairway or one side of the green miss. I kind of don't feel like I'm going to miss left. If I do miss left, it's very unoffensive. So it's literally kind of left side of the green, left bunker. I'm not getting those massive 15-yard left, kicking left disaster irons, which I have got a few of in some of the course vlogs if you watch them, and they wind me up so much because my irons normally are quite accurate. Now what I found since going to my fade is my accuracy is coming back. My spin has gone up in my driver, which some of you might notice from some of the recent club reviews I've done. So my spin's gone up to about 2,500 rev mark, where I was down at a 1.8, 2,000 hitting my draw. That does in turn make me run out not as far. I hit the ball a fraction shorter on average, but it still doesn't mean I can't hit the other shape. The other shape is still there. I'm just moving away from it being my stock natural shape. The other thing I like about my fade in my swing movement is to get that movement, or to feel like I'm getting that path more left and getting the face to stay open fractionally to a path. The way I feel I do it is on the way through, I literally open up my body more. So I try to rotate hips and shoulders much more to my left, so opening up to target, it feels like. And what that does in my mind is it makes me feel like I swing my body to its tolerance. And what I feel like if I get to my tolerance is that I can, because it's a kind of physical lid to the movement, I feel I can push the movement always there and hit it. So what I mean by that, if I push my body not to a physical tolerance, so I'm kind of in the middle of a tolerance, so if you think of a bend or a twist, so I don't twist as far as I know I can, then I feel like I hit variations of spots because I don't just get to my furthest opening turn motion. That might not make loads of sense to people. I hope it does. Post comments if that makes sense. So what I feel is that I push my body to a point where I feel like I can't turn it anymore, and then that makes me feel, and the data when I capture club path and face path, it shows that my data is, in my opinion, a bit more repeatable, even though I drop back a bit on distance. I think quite interesting recently as well with Spieth dominating at Augusta so well. By no means the longest hitter in that field. Par 5s on lots of the days he was laying up on, where there was other players going from all the time, but his accuracy, stroke conversion and strokes gained around the putting green once he was hitting a lot of greens allowed him to dominate that tournament. So distance, yes, is a crucial factor, and I wish I could have more, but that's not about here. For me, it would be about going to a gym, and I'm not so good in those places. For me, I'm about trying to play a game which I know I can just repeat. Certainly for someone who's not getting to play that much. So I might not play it on a course for 2 weeks. I want to be able to get out there, feel like I move to a tolerance, and that will give me a repeatable shot. And that's the key for lots of people. I do lots of lessons with people who really do desire draws. You know, it's that kind of desirable shot for lots of golfers. But I do think, and I do work with students where I actually persuade them to just carry on hitting their cut, which is a natural shot for them. They might naturally move leftward with their path as they hit the ball. But I persuade them to try and aim for it, to play for it, aim left and start the ball left, see the ball starting left so it can cut back. Rather than lots of people out there trying to, who are struggling with fades and cuts, they're just aiming at target and the ball starts right and cuts right, or starts straight and cuts right. Because if you want to draw the ball, obviously you've got to start the ball to the right. So they're kind of stuck between those two places, kind of starting out there and then it not coming back and it cutting a bit more. The fade, you know, Montgomery won lots of the tournaments and still is hitting a fade. Jack Nicklaus, best golfer who ever lived on paper still, cut the ball. It's not a bad shot, guys. It can be a really good shot. It's the shot I won my most events with, and certainly the shot I feel most consistent with. I do have to drop back in a bit of distance, so I sacrifice a fraction there, but what I gain in accuracy far outweighs what I lose in distance. So look, have lessons, get yourself understanding what shape shot's going to help you play some better golf. It doesn't mean I won't go back to a draw. This is a kind of in the now moment video because we are talking all around my feelings, and that can change. I start having some wild shots with fade, playing some courses where the fade just really isn't working. A draw might help me. I might want to go back to it. But at the moment I'm feeling, and my last few rounds have shown me how much more consistent I am hitting greens, hitting irons in close, drivers going back to where I don't even have to think about it. I can just kind of make that kind of extreme movement with my body and it kind of finds target within reason. And I'm liking that place. I'm liking that consistency. It's repeat. That's the big thing in this game. Find a repeating action. Doesn't matter which way the ball curves in the air, as long as it repeats onto target. And you will find that golf is a much easier sport than if you're fighting with a shape. Hope that helps. Post comments down below, just a little chat about what I'm feeling when I play shots. I think it'll help lots of people, maybe empower them to think maybe they should just work with their fade rather than work so hard and always try and hit the other shape shot. Not that you all are, but lots are. Post comments as always. Thanks for watching and speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more videos. Find me on Instagram at Crossfield Mark, also on Twitter at 4golfonline. Find me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield. Thanks for watching. Post comments as always, and see you soon.